In this video, we will talk about zero-sum and non-zero-sum games. In game theory, the concepts of zero-sum games and non-zero-sum games are essential for understanding strategic interactions between players, both in competitive and cooperative settings. These concepts help us understand how individuals or organizations make decisions that affect not only their own outcomes but also the outcomes of others involved. Whether in economics, business, or even social interactions, knowing how zero-sum and non-zero-sum games work can provide valuable insights into the way strategies are developed and executed. Let's begin by diving into the concept of a zero-sum game. In a zero-sum game, one player's gain is exactly balanced by another player's loss, meaning that the total benefit in the system remains constant. This means that the overall sum of the rewards is always zero. If one player earns something, another player loses an equal amount. This is typical of highly competitive situations where players are directly opposed to each other, and the aim is to win at the expense of others. A simple and classic example of a zero-sum game is poker. If one player wins $100, the other player loses $100. The total money in the game doesn't change. It's just redistributed between the two players. Similarly, in chess, there can only be one winner, and for the winner to claim victory, the opponent must lose. This type of game creates a win-lose scenario. One player's success results in the other player's failure. Zero-sum games are often associated with competitive efforts. In this type of game, the strategy typically revolves around outsmarting or outmaneuvering the opponent, often through direct confrontation. The rules and rewards are structured in a way that encourages competition, making it an ideal setting for understanding how players engage with each other in adversarial environments. Now, let's turn our attention to non-zero-sum games. In contrast to zero-sum games, non-zero-sum games are situations where the total outcome is not fixed at zero, meaning the sum of the gains and losses does not have to be zero. The total outcome can vary, and depending on the player's choices, it could be positive or negative for all participants involved. This gives rise to the possibility of a variety of outcomes, ranging from mutual benefit to mutual loss. In non-zero-sum games, players have more room for cooperative efforts, where collaboration can lead to better outcomes for all parties involved. A perfect example of this is trade between two countries. When countries engage in trade, both can benefit. For instance, one country may be better at producing agricultural goods, while another may have a competitive advantage in technology. By trading these goods, both countries can obtain what they need at a lower cost than if they tried to produce everything themselves. This creates a win-win situation where both players benefit, and the total outcome is positive. But non-zero-sum games aren't always cooperative. They can also involve competitive efforts, where players are still vying for resources, but the outcome may not necessarily be a clear win-lose. For example, in a business competition between two companies, both firms may try to gain market share through advertising or pricing strategies. However, this competition can lead to win-lose or even lose-lose outcomes, depending on how the strategies are executed. A win-lose scenario in a non-zero-sum game could happen if one company successfully captures market share at the expense of the other. For example, through aggressive pricing tactics or superior product offerings, one company may emerge victorious while the other suffers. However, it's also possible for both companies to engage in destructive competition, where neither wins. In such cases, the outcome is lose-lose, where both companies may lower their prices to the point where profits are reduced, and consumers may not benefit significantly either. In summary, zero-sum games are purely competitive with fixed outcomes where one player's gain comes at the expense of another, while non-zero-sum games allow for a variety of outcomes, ranging from mutual benefit to mutual loss. Understanding these concepts helps players navigate strategic decisions in both competitive and cooperative settings, providing valuable insights for decision-making in business, economics, and beyond. Enjoyed what you saw? Hit that subscribe button and like this video to join our community and never miss out on new content.